You made quite an emotional speech at the end of the match. Could you give us perhaps a bit more details, a few more details about what happened this morning next to your parents' house?
Well, I have this picture of my parents' house and everything around it. I don't have a video, but yeah, this is what I received at 8 in the morning today. And I had to live through it and deal with it and go out and play. I didn't know what to expect from myself. I didn't know how my focus is going to be, how I'm going to be able to, control my emotions or my thoughts. And there were obviously times in the match when I would go back to thinking about it, because most of the morning I felt sick just from a thought that if it was 100 meters closer, I probably wouldn't have a mom and a sister today. And it was really difficult to just process it so quick and also go out and play. That's why I'm also very happy that I played first match, because I don't know what would be the outcome if I played last, for example. Yeah, it's tough, but I'm very proud of myself today, of how we all handled it, and happy to be in the second round and that everyone is alive.
With everything that went on this morning, did you ever just consider pulling out and just not playing?
Well, not this morning, because obviously everyone is healthy, alive, out of the hospital, never was in the hospital. So these things, it's difficult, but none of my close friends or people I know is injured or dead, so it's obviously would be much more challenging and more difficult. I don't want to think what I would do if something worse happened, but I knew that this is the day to go out and play, and it didn't cross my mind today that I shouldn't go out, because at the end of the day, everyone is, alive, everything is good.
It's obviously been a very tough few years for you now, but I just wonder, was this one of the toughest moments this morning?
Well, I think the beginning of full-scale war was probably the most difficult, because of unknownness, because of, you don't know what's going on. My whole family was there. We had 17 people in the house. It was just, it's just the unknownness. The first, I think, couple of months was really difficult. Right now, I think it was just the closest that it has ever been to my house, and this would probably makes it the most emotional. There are obviously, as I said, there are better days, worse days. But yeah, this one was, I would say, top 3 worst ones for sure.
How are your mother and sister then, and your family, like after an event like this, and also just in general, how emotionally how they've been dealing with the past few years?
Well, I didn't speak with them on the phone yet, but I obviously texted, and most of my friends and most of the people who have, because majority of Kiev was suffered from something like this this morning, and a lot of my friends, they are just trying to sleep longer, just trying to recover, because it was half of the night. It was happening throughout 4 hours. They are just resting and, just trying to recover, and, that's it. It's good that it's Sunday today, so everyone can just stay home and, spend the time with their loved ones, and they feel okay, obviously. Very scared, very scary, but it's not the first very difficult night, not the last, so they are adapting.
It's a good question actually, but I just wondered, could you clarify exactly who is back there at the moment from your family, and also just kind of how exhausting is it for people there in Kiev and across Ukraine to be going through this for several years now? Well,
I think it's definitely exhausting, especially when it's repeatedly is happening over the night, and nobody's sleeping well, and people are just more irritated and just scared, but generally everyone is really angry, and everyone just wants to keep going. Everyone is trying to help whoever they need to help, and that's it. People are very resilient, and this is something to learn from them for sure. And right now in the house was my mom, my sister, and sister of my grandma. So at that moment, it was just 3 of them.
Just, you mentioned that the first months of the war were the most difficult, but it hasn't gone away. It feels a bit like on tour. You know, we used to have fundraisers at the Grand Slams for Ukraine, and that doesn't happen anymore. Is there any extent to which you think the tour's kind of forgotten about the war?
Well, I think so, but I live it anyways, and I've also adapted to the fact that the tour forgot about it. I'm still trying to do things that I can do and what I can influence, and I use my platform, I use my speeches, or, whenever I have a moment to remind about it, to remind of the horror of every, day lives of people. And people adapt, people forget, people move on. There is a lot of issues in the world, a lot of wars, and things that people want to support or people are thinking about, and it obviously makes sense, and it's just people move on. I do my job, and I think this is what I'm trying to focus the most. Obviously, you cannot make someone do something if they don't want to support, they don't want to help. I cannot force anyone to do it. I know what I'm doing, and this is what matters to me the most.